black pepper. It was once worth its weight in gold, literally. For over 4,000 years, the small dried berry of the Piper nigrum vine, native to India's Malabar coast, moved empires. Roman soldiers were partially paid in peppercorns. When the Visigoth king Alaric sacked Rome in 410 AD, he didn't demand silver, he demanded 3,000 pounds of pepper. The heat you taste comes from piperine, a compound locked inside that wrinkled black skin. Today, Vietnam grows about 34% of the world's supply. A spice that once started wars now sits quietly on every kitchen table. Cinnamon. Most people have never tasted real cinnamon. What fills the majority of American spice jars is cassia, a thick, hard bark from China and Indonesia with a bold, slightly harsh flavor. True cinnamon, called Ceylon, comes from Sri Lanka and is made from paper-thin inner bark layers, rolled by hand into delicate quills. It tastes softer, almost floral. The difference matters medically. Cassia contains high levels of coumarin, a compound toxic in large doses. Ceylon has almost none. Sri Lanka still produces about 90% of all true Ceylon cinnamon, the same island that supplied ancient Egyptian embalming rituals over 2,000 years ago. Turmeric. If black pepper built trade routes, turmeric built medicine. Used in India for over 4,000 years, this bright yellow rhizome, a root similar to ginger, gets its color from curcumin, a polyphenol with proven anti-inflammatory properties. Ancient Ayurvedic healers prescribed it for joint pain, digestion, and respiratory illness long before clinical trials existed. But here's the catch. Curcumin is nearly impossible for the body to absorb on its own. The solution? Black pepper. Piperine, the same compound that gives pepper its bite, increases curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. The pairing isn't coincidence, it's thousands of years of observation. India still grows over 75% of the world's supply. Cardamom. The queen of spices costs as much as it does because harvesting it is entirely human. Each pod of Elateria cardamomum grows close to the ground and must be picked by hand before it splits open, destroying the seeds inside. Its flavor is unlike anything else, floral, citrusy, and faintly cool, produced by a compound called 1,8-cineol. Ancient Greeks and Romans imported it from India at enormous expense. Viking traders carried it back to Scandinavia, where it became embedded in Nordic baking traditions that survive today. Cardamom is the third most expensive spice in the world, and surprisingly, Guatemala, not India, now produces over 60% of the global supply. Cloves. The Dutch once burned entire forests to keep cloves expensive. Native to the Banda Islands of Indonesia, cloves are the dried flower buds of Syzygium aromaticum, harvested before they ever bloom. Their heat comes from eugenol, a compound so potent it was used as a dental anesthetic throughout the 1800s and is still found in some dental cements today. The Portuguese controlled the clove trade brutally in the 16th century. The Dutch later took over, and to protect their monopoly, they systematically destroyed clove trees on any island they didn't control. A single compound from a flower bud reshaped colonial history across an entire region. Nutmeg. Nutmeg and mace come from the same tree, and almost no one knows this. The Myristica fragrance tree, native to Indonesia's Banda Islands, produces a fleshy fruit that splits open at harvest. Inside is a brown seed, the nutmeg. Wrapped around that seed is a vivid red lacy covering called an aril. That aril is mace, same tree, two different spices. The Banda Islands were so valuable to European powers that the Dutch massacred nearly the entire native Bandanese population in 1621 to seize control of the nutmeg trade. The spice itself contains myristicin, a compound that in very large doses acts as a hallucinogen, a fact that has led to documented poisonings throughout history. Saffron. 75,000 flowers for 1 pound of spice. Saffron comes from the dried stigmas of Crocus sativus, 3 tiny threads per flower, hand-picked before dawn, before the petals wilt in the heat. Its golden color comes from crocin, its bittersweet flavor from picrocrocin, its haunting aroma from saffronol. Together, these 3 compounds make saffron impossible to replicate synthetically at the same depth. Iran produces roughly 90% of the world's supply, and the spice has been cultivated there for over 3,500 years. In ancient Persia, it colored royal garments, flavored palace feasts, and was offered to the gods. Its price today reflects nothing less than that entire history. Paprika. Paprika proves that where a spice is made matters as much as what it's made from. All paprika starts as dried, ground capsicum annuum peppers, mild varieties, far lower in capsaicin than chili peppers. But Hungary and Spain transformed it into something entirely their own. Hungarian paprika, introduced through Ottoman trade routes in the 16th century, is protected by law in 8 distinct varieties, ranging from sweet to fiery. Spanish pimenton goes further. The peppers are smoked over oak wood before grinding, producing a depth no unsmoked paprika can match. In 1937, Hungarian scientist Albert Szent-Györgyi discovered that paprika is one of the richest dietary sources of vitamin C, earning him the Nobel Prize. Cumin. If one spice connects the ancient world, it's cumin. Seeds have been found in Egyptian tombs dating to 1350 BC. Sanskrit texts reference it 3,000 years ago. Today it remains the second most traded spice globally, behind only black pepper. The dried seed of Cuminum seminum, a plant in the parsley family, carries a warm, earthy flavor from a compound called cuminaldehyde. India and Mexico are its largest consumers, two cultures separated by an ocean that somehow both built their cuisines around the same seed. Cumin crossed those distances because spice routes were the original global trade network, moving flavor, medicine, and culture long before the modern world existed. Coriander. The plant known as coriander and the herb known as cilantro are the same species, Coriandrum sativum, just used differently. The seeds are dried and ground as a warm, citrusy spice. The leaves are used fresh as an herb, but cilantro is genetically divisive. A variation in the OR6A2 olfactory receptor causes somewhere between 4 and 14% of people to experience its leaves as overwhelmingly soapy. To them, it isn't an acquired taste. It's a different smell entirely. Coriander seeds recovered from an Israeli cave date to 6000 BC, making it one of the oldest documented spices on Earth. It appears in Sanskrit texts, Egyptian papyri, and the Old Testament. Star anise. Star anise looks like something from another world, an 8-pointed brown star harvested from an evergreen tree native to southern China. Its flavor tastes like licorice, driven by a compound called anethal. That same molecule appears in fennel and anise seed despite no botanical connection between them, 3 entirely unrelated plants producing the same taste through chemical coincidence. But star anise became globally critical for a different reason entirely. In the early 2000s, pharmaceutical companies discovered it was the primary natural source of shikimic acid, the key precursor for manufacturing Tamiflu, the world's leading influenza antiviral. A spice rack ingredient became essential to global pandemic preparedness overnight. Fenugreek. Fenugreek smells like maple syrup, and that's not a metaphor. The seeds of Trigonella phonum graecum contain sotalone, the same aromatic compound responsible for the scent of real maple syrup. This connection is close enough that fenugreek extract is commonly used as artificial maple flavoring in commercial syrups. The seeds themselves are small, golden, and intensely bitter when raw, but toasting transforms them into something nutty and complex. Charred fenugreek seeds have been found at archaeological sites in Iraq, dating to 4000 BC. India grows roughly 80% of the world's supply today, incorporating the seeds into curry powders, spice blends, and traditional medicines that trace back thousands of years. Mustard. Mustard's heat doesn't exist until you damage it. Whole mustard seeds are largely odorless, but crack one open and expose it to water, and sinegrin, a glucosinolate compound inside, converts instantly into allyl isothiocyanate, the sharp, sinus-clearing heat that defines prepared mustard. It's a chemical defense mechanism the plant evolved against insects. Romans discovered this reaction and spread mustard cultivation across Europe as they expanded. By the 13th century, Dijon, France had become the continent's mustard capital, a reputation it still holds. Mustard grows on every continent except Antarctica and comes in three main varieties: white, brown, and black, each escalating in heat. Allspice. Columbus found allspice in Jamaica in 1492 and immediately got it wrong. He thought it was black pepper, called it pimienta, and sent it back to Spain as a discovery. It wasn't pepper at all. It was the dried berry of Pimenta dioica, a tree found only in the Caribbean and Central America. Its flavor reads as cinnamon, clove, and nutmeg simultaneously, which is exactly how it got its English name. That complexity comes from eugenol, the same compound dominant in cloves. Jamaica remains the most prized sauce, and allspice became the backbone of jerk seasoning, one of the most recognizable flavor profiles in the Caribbean. Vanilla. Vanilla is native to Mexico, and for centuries it stayed there because the only bee that could pollinate it, the melipona, existed nowhere else. Every attempt to grow vanilla outside Mexico failed at the flowering stage. Then in 1841, on the island of Reunion in the Indian Ocean, a 12-year-old enslaved boy named Edmund Olbius developed a hand pollination technique using a thin stick and his thumb. It worked. Within decades, vanilla cultivation spread across Madagascar, Tahiti, and Indonesia. Today, Madagascar produces about 80% of the world's supply using the exact method Olbius invented. He received no compensation, no recognition in his lifetime, and died in poverty in 1880.